We are back, joined by one of my personal favorite discoveries this year, the guys from Kid Fly. How's it going, guys?
Yo,
Yeah, how you doing?
we're good, man.
Introduce yourselves, boys.
I'm Will. I sing for the band.
And I'm Julian, and I play bass in the band.
Fantastic, fantastic. As Mitch said, definitely one of our I suppose new favorite bands that we personally discovered this year, you guys and stuff though. So we thought definitely we'd want to get you guys in for a chat sometime, and obviously being up there in sunny Gold Coast, we thought this would be the best way to do it.
Quarantine-free Gold Coast.
Quarantine,
Yeah, that's it.
the safe zone up there in the Gold Coast. I mean, how's everything been for you guys? Obviously, during this sort of time up there. I mean, we've talked to a lot of Melbourne bands about what they've been doing, but obviously we've had it a little bit different to you guys. How's it sort of affected you? Have you been more productive even?
Oh man, since things are getting back to normal, things are getting great. We're starting to book shows again. It's the perfect time for the EP to release. Venues are opening up, and it's just been great.
Yeah, that's awesome. There's a lot of bands that sort of, I know, especially down here, are waiting for that day where we can sort of put gigs on. We've only just come out of stuff and we can have maybe a few little small shows, but we're definitely not back to full stuff down here yet, unfortunately. But yeah, we definitely saw you guys and a couple other bands we know from interstate when they're all of a sudden, even like a month or so ago, they're like, oh, come and see us on these shows. And we're all sitting there going, oh, we'd love to go to a show. So jealous.
Spewing.
Oh, absolutely. Now, so we're here to talk about the new EP. Yes, the EP. Pull Yourself Up.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit behind, I suppose, the making of it. Obviously, we saw a lot of the songs have been released over the last few months with obviously the releases and things like that, though. But how'd you sort of go about recording it all?
Honestly, man, I just recorded it in my bedroom. To be honest, just sort of
Classic.
Yeah, dude, classic punk style. Just recorded in my bedroom.
DIY, man, DIY.
Yeah, and just sort of sent the stems off to a mixing engineer and got it mixed that way. But we wanted to drop it all at once it was done. But like just as it was pretty much ready, the whole COVID hit.
The world ended.
Yeah, the world ended.
Yep.
So we're like, oh well, what are we gonna do? Like, how are we gonna keep relevant throughout this time? Because we knew if we just dropped it all at once, because there was no shows to keep things relevant, it would just fizzle out. So we all sort of came together and just said, hey, why don't we just release them all as singles back to back? So every couple of months we'd drop one, and honestly, like now the final song has been released with the EP, and everything in Queensland is just opening back up again. So it was sort of perfect timing. Yeah, dead set.
Absolutely, yeah. I think there's a lot of bands. I mean, there's a lot of bands that are more so even doing that by design at the minute anyway. Like you said, obviously, you were ready to drop the whole thing at once. But we found a lot of bands have just been doing the whole, drop a single every 2 months, just sort of, I suppose, like it's about relevance, really, keeping relevant and things like that. And you'll find a lot of bands are even just going, look, maybe we don't need the full EP right now. We'll just release, over a year if we release 3 or 4 songs, and you sort of keep that up. It's all about that sort of output and keeping people fresh in your mind too.
Yeah, and I think we found that anyway, because both of us use Spotify a lot, and it's like with Spotify, it's like, you basically just come, you listen to what's new basically in your Discover playlist and all the time, so it's like, it's a way of just making sure that you're front of people's minds and all that kind of stuff, because then you're showing up on their feed all the time as like doing something, doing something cool, so yeah.
Always active. Absolutely. Yeah.
You guys have released a few videos for them as well. Like, where did you get those done?
Oh, when did we get them done?
Or when and where?
Oh,
and
yeah.
All of that.
So all of our
Tell
stuff.
us about them.
Dude, like we did the 1985 cover, and we did the Rainy Days video in the same spot. Actually,
you want to hang out, and there's also filmed in the same. It's the same kind of like place we rehearse. Really, it's like a rehearsal kind of space.
Yeah. We just filmed them in different areas of the room, and then that's how poor we are. And then we for Panic Button, we forked out money and hired a big fuck off shed. So
next to that was next to the sewage farm.
Yeah, it's next to a sewage plant.
Like, oh wow,
how'd that go?
Oh mate, dude, we opened up the doors and we were like, oh god, like it was surprisingly tidy, but outside, man, the smell was like you could it wasn't horrible, but it was enough to be like, yeah, this is definitely next to a sewage.
And it was hot too. Like it was really warm in there. Like it was just kind of like you were kind of baking in there, and it was like it was just
it was rough, but we got it done.
Like we're doing it for the video. We're doing it for the video. We're doing it.
Yeah.
And They come across really good too. They're all really well done. They've got that sort of professional sort of little edge to them though, which I think works really well with them. They're really good.
Yeah,
thank
thanks,
you so
man.
much.
Shout out Skychase Studios, Josh Setterfield. Yeah, he does all our videos. Yeah,
Amazing.
he's great.
He's got a beautiful voice.
Yeah, great singer.
We noticed, obviously watching them. I mean, especially say Panic Button and You Want to Hang Out with Me. They have sort of probably a bit of a darker side to them, if there's a way to do it. What was sort of the idea there behind that?
Well, Panic Button was just sort of that one was it's very like sort of mental health related. Just sort of dark shit like going through drugs and just dealing with it and dealing with things in like a negative way. That's what that song sort of touches on. And Hang Out, that was just about a falling out that I had with a mate, and it was just that was just it was just venting. I just pretty much just put it on paper and just chucked it into a song really. So.
Awesome. No, it sort of comes through well. Like it's obviously a bit more, I suppose, story driven. You can sort of tell by that those sort of videos. Yeah, they've obviously got that darker side, but they do. I suppose, yeah, like I said, just sort of explaining it now, sort of what the real meaning behind it is. It really does convey that sort of stuff too.
Oh, wicked! That's good news. That's what we want.
Just on that, like, what is your songwriting process going into the EP?
Kind of depends, doesn't it, which song it was? But...
Yeah, I suppose it's all different. I mean, pretty much all the songs I wrote, apart from instrumentally as well. Apart from Panic Button, instrumentally we all got into a room and just sort of bashed that out. But for the most part, man, it's just a riff, and then I'll just stand in front of a microphone and whatever comes out, and then I just work off of that. I just write really weird. I don't know. But that's it every time. Just riff, then stand in front of a microphone and whatever comes out, and then I just write the song based off the idea and however I'm feeling.
But I think the simplicity works really well because that's kind of like how Panic Button came together. Because there was things as like one or two riffs or something, and then it was like we just keep it really simple.
Yeah, just keep building.
And then it just kind of came together and formed that song, and it was 20 minutes or something.
Yeah,
it wasn't very long.
Yeah,
and then it's like you just kind of
I think that works really well because like you listen to the whole EP and not a single song there is the same.
Yeah.
You've got Chloe, which is really pop punky, and then you've got things like You Want to Hang Out with Me and Hiya Georgie that both go really hard, but in different ways.
Yeah, well, that's something that I think we were all stoked about, that there was something for everybody on the EP, but at the same time, we were worried, how are we going to put this together? How are we going to put this back to back, So I think the way we put the listing of the songs, it went pop punk to a bit more pop punk, a bit more heavy, and it just throughout the EP it gets darker. Just putting it all together, I think it worked out in the end.
Yeah, I think it's definitely good. I suppose we were saying like more of a diverse album. I mean, you speak about sort of obviously the different stuff there. If you look at obviously You Want to Hang Out with Me, there's a bit of a different style there, especially with the vocal sort of change there. You've sort of got that different style you're trying and stuff. What sort of brought that about?
I always wanted to mix hip hop into like the heavier sort of genres. I know a couple of other bands are doing that right now, but I always loved hip hop, and I wanted to, and being like the way I felt, like I said, it was a falling out with a mate. Like there was so many words that I just wanted to, just say and get out. So hip hop just worked, because it's quite a wordy genre. So it was just
spitting those fast lyrics,
spitting them bars, bro. Yeah, just that's just the way I wanted to go about it. And yeah.
Awesome. Now, I suppose we've made the comparison, and I suppose I don't know if a lot of other people have. We've called you the Australian A Day to Remember.
Hell yeah,
boy.
and it's meant in complete, I suppose, compliments and stuff like that. Especially like, I suppose the first song I think we really heard from you guys was "You're Pretty Sick, Chubs," which is one of the best names for a song as well. By the way,
I'm glad you like it.
Sick. Oh, so sick. But we just like literally, and like I'd heard this song and I brought it to the guys in the show and said, "Let's listen to it." And they went, "Oh yeah, cool." And then the start bit, and then it hits those screams, and they go, "Oh!" And I'm like, "Yep, see, A Day to Remember." Like A Day to Remember. I'm like, yeah.
I know we're not the only ones that have made that comparison either. I know Wall of Sound, I was reading a review of You're Pretty Sick, Chubs.
Yeah.
And they made the same kind of comments we did. It was like, yeah, okay, it's not just us that are thinking this.
No.
Yeah, I think it just comes from. I mean, God, I love that band. I think we all love that
We
band.
all love that band.
Just
I
the perfect
absolutely.
combination. Oh, mate, they're unreal. And I think, growing up for me, man, like I always wanted to play in bands, and I just loved pop punk and I loved heavy music, and it was like, which genre do I choose? It's just like
All of them.
And then, dude, honestly, and that's how this came about. It's just all of them. It's like, fuck it, let's just do everything. Who cares, And I think that's sort of what they did, and yeah, it just works,
Awesome. So I suppose we're obviously fairly new to you guys, and in discovering us. I suppose, can you give us a quick rundown about, I suppose, how you guys got started, how long you've been around, things like that?
Was it like 2 years? I think.
Yeah.
Just about nearly 2 years.
I think September 2018 was when it was formally kind of came together.
Yeah, because I wrote Rainy Days, which was our first single before any of the boys had even joined the band, and I pretty much just said, all right, this is how we'll do it. I just chucked the song out and just said, hey, this is Kid Fly. Does anyone want to be a part of this thing? And then, I hit up Julian. Julian was in a grade below me in school. We sort of knew each other, sort of, but didn't. And Caleb, I knew he's our drummer. I knew his brother. And Dylan, Dylan's just been a bit friend for a while, so it just all sort of came together. It was just sort of like a group of friends that sort of knew each other but didn't, and we just just chucked it together, and that's just how it sort of came about.
It's good. It's a good when those things sort of, I suppose, come a little bit easy or generically. You see a lot of bands, you got to sort of advertise these days, and it's almost like going for a job. You get people in, it's like, well, we got to try and impress them. They want to try and impress us, and you sort of go through that stuff. And you don't even know if it's obviously going to click and all those sort of things, though. So I suppose having a bit of familiarity there definitely sort of help with you guys too.
And it just kind of worked, because this is the thing, is like it just kind of clicked. Like once everyone was there, it was like, and then it just worked. And then it was like, from there, it was like, oh, this is great. Like you don't have to worry about anything at all. Like, it just kind of worked from the,
It was real weird, because we're all like, you look at us like, people have said this before. They're like, oh, you all look like such different people. Like Julian's a med student, you know what I mean? And we've got Caleb on drums, and he's just covered in tats, and they're just like, you all look so different and weird. Yeah. I don't know, but yet we all get along so well. So just it's good.
Cool. I'm gonna throw back to it because you mentioned the video for it earlier. As a huge SR71 fan, I saw that you'd done this cover. I'm like, oh, this is amazing. What made you do the cover for? What inspired you to do the cover for 1985?
It was just a song that I always just used to jam on, and I was just like, you know what? And I think, were we covering that before we even did it?
Yeah, no, because we were covering it. I think we covered it a few times for like a couple. I think it was like we put it in the covers.
We
part
did.
Of our set.
Yeah.
And then you were just kind of like, why don't we just record this and we'll just put it into a thing? And then obviously we got to make the video, which was like so much fun.
Yeah, it was just through covering it live.
Cool.
We got a great response, and we just did the cover. Wicked song.
Oh, great song.
It's a catchy song. It's been around forever. Obviously, like Mitch said, the SR71 version, and then that Bowling for Soup cover as well. Though everyone's sort of done it that little bit different though, but it's catchy. And I love you guys' video. Like it's throwing back to that '80s and the whole marketing thing.
That was so much fun.
Yeah, no, it was wicked.
I was watching the behind the scenes of that one as well. That video. Just looking at that's just, and it shows through in that video. You're just sort of all friendly together, and it just obviously makes the whole process easier too.
Yeah, honestly, man, it's wicked.
Now, something that we've seen happen with a bunch of bands, and we talk about it sometimes on the show, is what we call the Spotify hijack, where a rather random band's song appears under your name. And I noticed you guys, it's actually still there. A lot of bands, we see them, and then by the time we even get to talk about it, it's all gone and been thing. But your guys still has it up there.
Yeah.
Oh, man, dude, I think they're like Spanish rappers or something.
Yeah.
Like a Spanish trap
It
group.
definitely looks like it's Spanish by the way that it's written there. But I was like, we've had so many bands, it's even happened to Architects, and we've had a couple local bands where we're just like, oh, new track, awesome, yeah, and then we click and go, this is a rap song.
Usually it is some kind of foreign electronic act.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
What is that? I know.
But it came. I remember I messaged the group because it came up on my Spotify.
Yeah.
And I was like because as you're saying different genres, and I was like, has Will been hitting up Duolingo or something?
No.
He's been into Spanish trap music or something. And I'm like, what the how, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it's weird.
It's happened. I don't get it. Like, I've seen it happen. There was one where it happened with Korn, and there was one where it happened with Architects, and I'm like, this is an intentional thing. Someone's put it in accidentally, and then be like, oh no, but then like everyone's heard their song. But then we've heard, local bands that maybe aren't big on the whole international scene, and people do it under their name, and it's like, what exposure are you trying to get there? Like, people are gonna know straight away. Like,
I don't know. Do you think it's like a bug or something, or like maybe something? Like a similarity in the name. I don't know.
Yeah, it'd be some kind of, I don't know, bot or something. It's like, yep, let's upload it into this artist.
It basically, they changed the name, because I've seen ones where like it comes up, it has like whatever the fake name is, and then the next thing you know, like a week later, it's already changed back to who it's supposed to be. But during that time, everyone's listened to that new Korn song, thinking it's them or whatever, and they've got all these listens, and they're like, hell yeah, and then it's like, oh, it's wrong.
They've made all this money just because people thought they were Korn. It's hilarious, but I don't know. I got to send them an email. We got to get that fixed.
No, because happened at the start of it. Remember, there was another, was it like a Fortnite like parody artist or something put like music up, and it was like, it was a guy like on YouTube or something, and then for some reason it ended up under our name. And for, like, it took us like 2 or 3 weeks to get them to fix it or something. And we were like,
I don't know.
on our name.
We got to get it fixed.
Yeah. There you go. I mean, it's one of those things. I think if it's hard these days to know if there's another band or a person even like your name, and obviously Spotify just doesn't check these stuff when it puts it up. It's like, Kid Fly, your name's Kid Fly, cool. We've already got one. Let's put them all together. It's like, nah, you probably need to sort of work that one out though. But yeah, that was a funny one to see.
Yeah,
just one of Spotify's many screw arounds when it comes to music.
Right.
Early releases and such.
Oh, right. We've had those. See, that's the thing here. We've had them thinking that someone's released something early, and we've got the scoop on it, and then realised, nah,
it doesn't come out for another 2 weeks, and we've just played it. Shit.
People thought it was weird enough when we released a half hip hop metal song. Now they're like, all right, they're doing Spanish trap.
Not gonna lie, I did think that was, until we hit the screams. I'm listening to it. I'm like, is this the same artist, or what's going on? Oh no, we're good. It's okay. It's okay. Stop panicking.
Quite creative.
They're branching out a bit.
Awesome. So you guys mentioned obviously with things opening up there for you guys and the new EP coming out, you've got some I suppose some gigs in the works. Or is there anything sort of like a specific EP launch show you're working on at the minute?
Yeah, man. Well, perfect time to announce it, I guess. 31st of January, we are planning on doing in the Valley in Brisbane. We're doing an EP release show. We're putting the bands together right now. That's pretty much the main one that we have right now. And there's a couple of other things. We might be doing a little mini tour around North New South Wales and Queensland, but that's just in the works right now.
So Trent, we're flying up to Brisbane on the 30th of January, right?
Are we going to be allowed?
Who knows?
Are we allowed out of our state? Are we allowed in their state? I mean, I don't know. Yeah, but
no, we'll sneak you in.
All right, cool.
I suppose this leads on to another question. Then, do you guys plan to go into any other states at all? Wink, wink.
Preferably
Victoria?
us.
Dude, as soon as it opens up and we everyone's got the all clear, like we're touring. Like we wanted to tour this year, but the whole world shut down. So yeah, as soon as it opens up, we're booking a tour. Like no question.
Oh, look, hit us up. We are in touch with a lot of venues down here as well. We put on some shows ourselves, so we'd be happy to have you on shows down here. I think,
or on the show.
And even coming into our show and having a little play live. Yeah, that would be pretty fun. We do like to get bands in every now and again, almost like a version style, and get them a little acoustically and stuff like that. Though.
Yeah, would love to.
Speaking of shows and tours and stuff, it's a question we like to ask every band we have on here. If you could play with one, well, I'm going to say local, but I'm going to say Brisbane band for you guys. One Brisbane band, one Australian band, and one international act. What would your lineup be?
Oh shit! One Brisbane band. Does Amity Affliction count? They're gimpy.
I call them the Australian. I call them the Australian band. Though. They're on a bigger level.
Local. Brisbane band. You know what? Fuck it. Bring back Call the Shots. Call the Shots for Brisbane band.
Call the Shots. Yes.
Hell yeah, dude. Call the Shots. The Amity Affliction. And what was it? Worldwide band?
Yeah, international band.
Oh shit. A day to remember.
A day to remember.
A day to remember. Fuck yeah.
That's a show I'd go to. In fact, I've
yeah,
been to
boy.
half of it already.
You and me both.
You're the only band we haven't seen. It's normally the other way around. It's like, oh, I'd love to see those international bands, but for once, it's the local band we haven't even seen.
Let's make that happen.
Definitely.
Done.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for your time tonight.
Wicked, thank you for having us, dude.
We're gonna go straight into the newest track you've dropped, Chloe. This is gonna be a lot of fun,
Legends.
and hopefully we'll see you guys when you either you do a show up there that we can get to, or you do a show down here.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Thanks a lot, guys.
No worries, guys. Cheers.